Hey, this is Racunix, and today we're going to start a survival series. So let's first start to get geared up. I'm just kidding. Um, I'm planning to do this survival series in a world I already have. So let me show you what I've already built in, well, a few times playing. So I want to play in more like a a long time survival world, although this world isn't that old yet. And I've already started building some houses, and I think it's maybe fun to capture how this place is evolving through time. Um, for the next project I wanted to start, I wanted to change this spawning area into something that looks like a spawn of like a server or something. Um, I also don't want to start like really big projects at once because probably I will get burned out at doing them. So um, I'm going to do it step by step. Um, First, let me see. Let me first start up getting the area started, ready to change. I think it would be great if we have this area hollowed out a little bit lower, and then you get in like some sort of pit, which is still in a building, which you have to get up, and then you see the world like how you can travel there and there. And I think it's also fun to connect this, of course, up to my main hub. But yeah, let's get started and build something. So I've dug the pit, and as you can see, I've made it so that you can leave the pit from like 4 angles. I think it's really nice and opening to go wherever in this world you want. Although right now over there are the most of the things. So as I explained earlier, I think it's nice if you can start first in more like a smaller, cozier place. So I'm still thinking of making this like a green, I say it's some water play or some nature ask thing. I'm not sure yet. Then here you have the 4 staircases, and right now I think that to use more like of a gray tone at the bottom as a floor, and maybe to contrast the gray, use the mud stairs as a stairs to get up. So I'm first of all planning to get rid of that one. I think the top of the lodestone really looks nice, and make it easier to leave. As you can see, I'm a little bit short of mud blocks, but I will make them soon. Then I think it's nice if we can place some lighting underneath here, and put some glass on top of it so that the lighting itself doesn't really bother that much, but it's still lit up here, well lit up here. So I think it's nice to have a little bit of texture in the ground. So something like this would be nice, and let me see. So in general, I think something like this will look really nice. Maybe a little bit of degrading at some points. So let's say here, maybe because we walk this path a lot, that this stone broke, or more in the corners. Let me see, maybe this one is also nice. Oh, I think this is already a good beginning, and I would like to make it a little bit more visual to put these ones. I hope it won't get too much, but I think it's really nice, these pale oak logs. Let me see to get this one right. Like this, no. Like okay, why doesn't it work? Yes, that one. Let's do the same here. Yes. Something like this. Maybe this is a little bit too much. Let me just put in. Let me think about it. Maybe I will get rid of them, or just hide them a little bit more with pressure plates or something. So yeah, let me think of what to do here. I think it's also nice if we make these walls maybe out of stone. Let me see if that works. Something like this. So let's say we spawn here. I think this is a little bit too much. If you, well, don't think about this. Okay, I think right now it's a little bit too sad to say it like that. So I think a lot of color needs to go here to bring it to life. I do like the combination of this stone with the stairs, although maybe it's not needed if we put a lot of light here, of life there. Yes, I think we will get rid of a few of them. Maybe one or two is nice, but this much is like overkill. Something like this. I think that's better. Let me think of what I'm going to do here. So I've designed two templates for like what to do in these corners. The first one is more like a natural part, so I've put a little bit of flowers there. The walls are more decorated. You've got fence, but not blocking fence, I guess. And well, the other one is more of a water display. I think both of them look nice. I did a little bit of decoration, but not too much. I think if I go for either one of them, I have to do, well, a better job of decorating it. But I just wanted to have a little bit of little templates here. So if I compare both of them, right now my well, I prefer this one right now above the water display. I think I will keep them both here for now, just to see if I put a little bit of work up here. So I want to have a fence or like a decorative how do you call these things, the library stands, and to see what it does to, well, being down here. So for now it's, well, this looks still a little bit dead, so maybe a little bit of color here, a little bit of green, at least, well, get rid of more of the stony tones. I think it would be better, and this one already did it, so it makes it a lot more natural, adds a little bit of green and the color of the flowers. I think my preference is this. And if I do this, I can look at the mud bricks, but I think the stone bricks are better. So it also, well, matches better with the floor. I also put a little bit of lighting here, but the glowstone will probably be replaced once I get frog lights or maybe prismarine. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I think for now this one is better. So let me decorate it up here a little bit more. Let's get started for what to do here. So I wanted to make it open, but also not too open. So let's see what to do. So I've put some fences up there to, well, first of all get a view of how it is starting to look. I think this side is looking better and better, but also now with some color up there, the water, well, it's not that bad anymore. So I'll still keep them both here and see in the end, well, over a few stages, if which one I want. And currently my preference is for the natural part. I've also put some walls up here. I'm not quite sure if I want, well, the distance to be this much, or maybe a slightly bit bigger. Also, just put up some, well, temporary walls to get the colors in. So you have the brown and the gray in the background. Also here, so it's mainly for this water. If it's not too gray, and to have it like this. But of course, it will get more details and more colors. Yeah, I think I will, well, make this circle round. Maybe a little bit bigger. I think it's also for pathway. It's quite spacious. My planning up here is, well, first of all, have a big hole somewhere here, but to have more like a room or something inside of this. So in older servers at least, I'm not sure if it's still the case in the most of the servers, they have like these department stores, these stores to buy some blocks if you can't find them or something. And I think, well, I'm not going to make any store here, or at least not yet, but I think it's nice to have like maybe when I die and don't have gear, that I have some backup gear there. So a little bit of a store part, to say it like that, or maybe a startup, like a startup kit part. Also, maybe it's nice to have like shops here. I'm just thinking out loud right now. So have some well, small housing here with some windows, being more like a store. My other idea is to make this like a really tall building, so like going up to the space. Also, this is like a really big opening that you still have a little, well, a great view from here to see the world. I also do like to make it somewhat taller, so that I can make some, well, parkour. At least in most of the spawn areas you see like a parkour place, and I think it's fun to have it in my own survival world as well. Yeah, let me think. It feels really as a natural width. I also don't want it to make it too big, because, well, I also have to place more blocks, but it's also, I do prefer more like a cozy thing, although I want to make it really spacious and open. A little bit, well, it doesn't need to be too open, too empty, if you get what I mean. So I think I will just put the stone bricks around here, and, well, I'm going to remove these ones. I don't think I want the mud stairs. I think the stone bricks have a really nice vibe. It's also quite an easy block. Maybe I'm mixing in some other blocks in the stairs to mix things up. And I think I'll just place like a natural part here and a water part here to have enough variation. So yeah, I will be doing that. So I've completed, well, the pit. I think it's also nice to have a variation between water and a natural part. So maybe I can just have it like this. I'm not sure yet. I think it's already starting up to feel like a little bit better. I also finished the wall, and I think this already gives a really nice feeling of how this area will feel. I think, well, of course, needs more details to let it feel more like a really nice spawning area. Um, yeah, um, I think I'll start to design the walls a bit. I think I want to try both ideas I just proposed, like building maybe a few stalls up here, like um, maybe I can well try to well split this area in multiple zones. So maybe I have more like a shopping zone here, and I can make multiple different styles of housing. So maybe I put a smithing place here, a food shop here, something like that. I think that would be nice. I would want to have this area like a really grand opening, but I'd also think it's nice to have every place a grand opening. And I'm also imagining maybe if you look upwards to see something, but I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe a bell or something like that, or I can go to something more magical like an orb or something. And the parkour I was talking about, maybe it's fun to start it at the housing, not too obvious, but also not too hidden, that you can start parkouring here and then go maybe somewhere in the wall and then jump up until you reach either the bell or the orb or something. Um, I think it's nice if you like looking around, see different layers of things. I'm not going to finish all those layers in this episode, but I think it's nice to, well, at least get a starting view like this. Maybe one block taller than this, and also maybe an opening gate or something. Um, so yeah, I think I'll start with the gates. It's like a really nice and easy one, and I think maybe I'll start with making this more round. I'm not perfect in building round structures, but yeah, it's too etched. Yeah, I'll start making it more round, which is kind of funny for a block game. Uh, Let me see if this is the way to go, or if I can go. Oh, well, no, I think it's the opposite direction I have to go. Yeah, let me make this more round and start with the arcs. I think that would be nice. And this place is starting to get more alive. Maybe also fill in the floor. I think I'll just well, not this pattern, but something like this. A roughened out path here, and maybe somewhat more clean, or maybe not too clean, because this is also a pathway which won't be walked over as much as this one's, these blocks. I wanted to show you first the block pallets I'm going to use. I will use the stone bricks as a basement. Somewhat a darker block, not too dark. Then go up with stone, which is a little bit lighter, and then go to andesite, which is lighter than the stone bricks. So that when you go up from the pit, your attention will be dragged upwards to the lighter andesite. I think that would be nice because the building will probably be somewhat taller. As you can see, I also finished the arches. So I think this is a really nice shape. It's more going to the Gothic style, to say it like that. But I still really like these arches. So if you come from here, then I think your view is really nice. I wanted to show you first this one, but this view doesn't really have that much. Well, maybe if I crank up my render distance. So let's see if we go to 24. Let's see if my computer can handle this. So then you've got like a really nice view of the area. But like I said before, with my normal render distance, you can't really see much from this arch. So I've also made one here, so you can see the mountain. I think the others doesn't really have much right now. No, not really. So I think with this mountain is really nice. So you walk up here, see the clouds already, and then you see the landscape in the distance, which is really nice. Well, I really like it. Then, like you can see here, I already tried to implement the stone gradients from the somewhat darker to the somewhat lighter, but I'm not really keen on this stone yet, so I'll be playing with it for somewhat longer. I also, let me show you first here, made a small block palette for the floor, so I do like it to be this pathway a little bit more cracked, so I start with the cracked stone, then do a little bit rougher stone bricks. Then I do like the pale moss. Also, I will probably use this pale moss to hide my lighting sources, so that this place will also get lit up. Then for some more details, I want to use the tuff blocks and probably also maybe the chiseled tuff, because it really has a nice detail on top of it. And here I made a small palette, so you can see I've made some lines to outsides for like with the tuff, the smooth tuff, and then the pathway is a little bit cracked up because this is probably the path that's been used the most. Then in between, I don't want to crack it up that much, but I think it's really nice to have some form of detail here. I have to play around to see what's really nice. I also think I want to first build this, well, the shape of this building. So right now I've only made the arches and been starting from like working from the inside to the outside. I think it's really nice for, well, this place, because this is, well, the spawning area. This is the first place you will see, so the first impressions needs to be good. But then to make this building more cohesive, I think it's really nice if we, well, if I can, well, get the shape done first before I, well, start designing these walls and the interior. Maybe I'll start doing the floor a little bit, but not too much. And, well, I think it's also, if I made the walls, then probably these arches can also get enough attention to go from the stone bricks to the andesite. I only don't think I'm going to do this this episode, so probably this episode will be somewhat shorter, but I think it's a really good beginning to start from, well, nothing to this cozy starting pit. And, well, of course this place will probably still change in the future. The lighting, I think, is really nice if we can get some frog lights, but that's a task for later. And also when the structure is up, then probably how you stand here, the view of the plants or the water will probably change, so maybe I will change this a little bit as well. At least, well, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and, well, leave a like and subscribe if you did. And I'll see you next time. Bye.